people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new video. Today's video is a part 2 to my favorite black queer books. All of these books feature main characters who are both black and queer. So let's get started. The first book on this list is called Yesterday's History. This book is a YA contemporary featuring a black gay main character who's stuck between two boys, one in the past and one in the present, because this book has an element of time traveling. So it's kind of like a speculative fiction type of story. Anyway, this book is literally so good, and it's so awesome, and it's absolutely so fantastic. First of all, the plot is so intriguing, and it's so action-packed, and it's so fast-paced, and I was so invested in this story, and I was also so emotionally attached to the main character because I found him to be so distinct and so realistic and so well developed. The romance was so cute and it was so fluffy, and this book is so happy and it's so well done and it's so well developed in every single element. The world building was so well done too. This book is literally so good, and it deserves so much more hype. So with that, I would highly recommend it. And I'm so excited to read this author's next book next year. So with that said, I would highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called Off the Record. This book is another YA contemporary featuring a black bisexual main character, and she's uncovering the scandal of a lifetime. There's a huge trigger warning on this for sexual assault, so please be wary of that before you go into this book. So basically, this book is literally so good, and I really enjoyed it. Because first of all, the plot was so intriguing, and it's so well developed, and I was so emotionally invested in this story, and as a result, I was so emotionally attached to the main character. I think that she is such a wonderful, well-developed, distinct, ambitious main character, and I really enjoyed her. Both her and her love interest are both bisexual, which is so cool and so lovely, and we love to see that type of representation. This story is so good, and it deserves so much more hype, and it's absolutely so wonderful. The romance was so well developed, the plot was so intriguing, all the characters were so well developed, and they're all so distinct. This story is so good, and it deserves so much more hype. But again, please be wary of the trigger warning of sexual assault for this story. But anyway, I would highly recommend this book because it's so good, and I really enjoyed it. The next book on this list is called The Good Luck Girls. This book is a YA fantasy featuring a black sapphic main character who's on the run from a brothel after her sister accidentally kills a man, and she's with all of her friends. This book is literally so good, and it's absolutely so fantastic. First of all, the world building is so immersive, and it's so well done, and it really makes the plot so intriguing and so fast-paced and so action-packed, and I was so emotionally invested in this story because it's absolutely so well developed and so well done. All of the main characters are so well developed, and they're so distinct, and the found family dynamic and the group dynamic is so cool, and it's so well done. This book deserves so much more hype, and this duology is so underrated, and for what? This book is so good. The plot, the world building, the romance, the characters, the sister relationship, this book has it all. It's absolutely so good, and like I said, it deserves so much more hype because this book is so underrated, and for what? It's absolutely so good. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called This Poison Heart. For those who don't know, this book is a YA urban fantasy retelling of The Secret Garden, and the main character is black and sapphic. This book is literally so good. I had really low expectations for this book because this author wrote Cinderella is Dead last year, which I liked, but I didn't absolutely really like, and I definitely didn't like Cinderella is Dead as much as everybody else did. But however, this book definitely exceeded those low expectations because it was really good, and I highly recommend it. First of all, the world building is so inventive, and it's so well done, and it's absolutely so immersive. I'm so excited to read the sequel. The plot is so intriguing, and it was so well done. It was absolutely so well developed. The characters were so well developed, especially the main character, who's such a wonderful, distinct, well-developed main character. How many more times am I going to say well-developed? Anyway, basically, my point is, every single element of this story, the romance, the world building, the plot, the characters, was so well-developed, and it really made for such a wonderful, immersive story, and I'm so excited to see what will happen next in the sequel, because I have no idea what will happen next, because this story really kept me on my toes. So with that said, I would highly recommend this book, because it's absolutely so good, and I would say that this book is definitely better than Cinderella's Dead. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Meet Cute Diley. For those who don't know, this book is a YA contemporary featuring a triracial transgender teenager whose idea of perfect relationships is shadowed by his first one. So, like I mentioned, he's triracial, which means that he's a third white, a third black, and a third Asian, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. Anyway, this book is so good, and it's absolutely so well done. You've probably seen this book everywhere, as you should, because this book deserves all the hype and so much more. First of all, this book is so happy, and it's so fluffy, and it's so well done, and I'm so excited to read the author's next book next year, because it sounds so good, and this book was so absolutely amazing and so fantastic, and it was so well done. First of all, the representation was top notch, and it was so good. Second of all, the characters were so well developed, and I really enjoyed them. I was so emotionally attached to like every single character in this book, because every single one was so well developed. Third of all, the romance was so fluffy, and it was absolutely so cute, and it was so wonderful. The plot is so intriguing, and it's so fast-paced, and it's so action-packed, and I was so emotionally invested in every single element of the story, because this book is so good, and it's so happy, and it's so fluffy, and it's so necessary, because it's so fluffy, and it's so happy, and it's so wholesome, and this book is so good. Like I said, this book absolutely deserves all the hype and so much more, because it's absolutely so fantastic. So with that, I would highly recommend this book, because it's so good. The next book on this list is called Things We Couldn't Say. This book is a YA contemporary featuring a black bisexual main character who's navigating two things. One of them is first love, and the other one is the return of his mother, who walked out of his family when he was 9. This book is so good, and it's so well done, and it's so well developed in every single element. Apparently in this video I'm overusing the word well developed, but anyway, this book is so good. First of all, the main character is such a wonderful, well-developed, distinct main character, and I was so emotionally attached to him, and as a result, I was so emotionally invested in this story. The plot was so intriguing, and it was so fast-paced, and it was absolutely so immersive. The romance was so well-developed, and it was so cute, and it was so wonderful. Both the main character and his love interest are both bisexual, so we love to see it. This book is literally so good. Like many other books on this list, I had really low expectations because I had read a previous book by this author, and I didn't really love it that much, so I wasn't really expecting to really like this book, because it's so fantastic, and it's so well done, and it's so fantastic, and I would highly recommend it, because this book deserves all its hype and so much more, because it's so underrated and for what. So with that, I really enjoy this book, so I highly recommend it. The last book on this list, but certainly not the least, is called Six of Crows. This book is a YA fantasy featuring 6 main characters who must work together to pull off a nearly impossible heist. And one of those main characters is Jesper, who's black and bisexual. This book is so fantastic, and it's so well done. If you've been a fan of me and my channel for quite some time, you know that Six of Crows is one of my favorite books. And honestly, I'm surprised at myself that I didn't include this book in part 1 of this video that I did in February. But anyway, this book is so fantastic, and it's so well done, and it absolutely deserves all the hype and so much more, because it's so fantastic. Leigh Bardugo is such an excellent author, and you also know this because I created the Leigh Bardugo book tag in honor of how much I love her and her books. But anyway, Six of Crows is such an excellent book because the characters are so well developed and they're all so distinct. Jessica is such a wonderful main character, and honestly, Kit Young, the actor who plays him in the Shadow and Bone TV show, brings him to life so well, even though I wish that they had casted a darker skinned black actor to play him, but I digress. This book is so good. The characters are so well developed and they're all so distinct. The plot is so intriguing and it's so action packed and it's so fast paced. The world building is so immersive and it's so well done. This book is so excellent and it's so fantastic and it deserves all the hype and so much more. So with that, I would highly recommend this book. So, in conclusion, I hope that this video serves as a reminder to continue to read about Black queer people beyond LGBT History Month and or Black History Month. Since this video is a part 2, I will leave in the description box below part 1 that I did in February if you haven't seen it already. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the cupcake emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!